Hello everyone, it is Sue here. So today I wanted to share my garden. It is the morning of July 16th. And yeah, so this is my new flower bed for this year. It's a bit of a chaos, but definitely have a bunch of flowers going on, so I'm super happy. These are nasturtium over here with the pretty pink, I forget what that's called. I don't know what this is. I don't know. We will see. And then, of course, I have some zinnia growing. And I just threw seeds in here, so it's like there's stuff everywhere. Over here, I'm going to clean up a little bit. But right here, these right here, that is marigolds, Cracker Jack marigolds. Okay, I'm going to take you on the other side of my garden and give you just kind of a quick overview. Tomato plants, flowers, lots of beds over here, which we'll go over, and over here. So let's start over here. So this is a cannellini bean plant that I've pulled basically all of the beans off of it. They will be dry beans, so that is dying back. I have some beautiful, beautiful zinnia here. They are just gorgeous. There's two different kinds. Got that beautiful, beautiful kind. And then this one. This is Purple Prince, which I think is my new favorite zinnia. The other one is Queen Lime Red. That's Queen Lime Red. So yeah, so I've been picking these and taking them in the house. I have a little vase. That was another bean plant that I already harvested everything off of. Okay, so over here I have a shade cloth up because this little corner of my garden right here gets like almost the most sun. So I had to do something because these tomato plants were not happy. I keep having to raise the top of this because the tomato plants are getting tall, but I am gonna not let them get any taller than that. I'll start cutting them back so that they don't get taller, because I won't be able to reach them otherwise. So what good is it if I can't reach the tomatoes? But there's a few different tomato plants in here. They are growing like crazy, and I always put basil in and around my tomato plants, but you can see, there's tomatoes in these plants. So I mean, they're growing well. This over here is my little new blueberry plant. So looking good. It's growing. All that light green is all new growth. More tomato plants over here and basil plants. I have this right here is some sunflowers that haven't bloomed yet with some vinca, which is like impatiens down there, growing beautifully. My peppers are crazy. So these are my banana peppers. I am going to harvest some today. I'm going to make a frittata at some point, and yeah, so I'm excited to harvest some more of those. I do have my bell peppers, my green bell peppers growing. I don't know if you can see that. There's one there. There's one here. And there are a lot of new little flowers and stuff going there so my pepper plants are doing well. Even my watermelon is doing well, getting super long. This one is already down in between my plants. That's probably going to end up all the way out. Let me step over them. Probably all the way out to my grass over there. It seems like every day it grows a foot, I'm telling you. But I do have, let me turn around. I do have little watermelons. This one, I think, was probably eaten a little bit by a chipmunk or a squirrel, but I'm leaving it on there. Oregano. So over here in this bed, these sunflowers right here were all volunteer for this year. I have my zinnia. I have a tomato plant in here, another tomato plant there, onions, alyssum flowers. In this bed, I'm going to turn around, it's going to be a little close. I have to be careful because I have all the watermelons close to me. I don't want to step on them. Some more zinnia, marigolds, tomato plant. Then these are all tomato plants and herbs. So I have more basil, rosemary, lemon balm, which I have to harvest that today because I like to make a lemon balm cold tea to have in the house. But so these tomato plants were planted at least 2 weeks after the ones under my shade cloth. So there's a big difference in size, which is good, which is, you know, why I plant them separately, you know, at a later date so that I can get tomatoes longer. Over here in this white bed, I have parsley, which I'll be harvesting today, radishes, and I have some lettuce planted in there. And I did throw in some carrot seeds, so we'll see what happens there. Okay, so let me go back where I was. Over here in this bed, we already saw some of this stuff, but over here I have beans, which I planted. That's like my third succession of beans, I would say, right here. I did have pinto beans here, all harvested. I did plant some romaine lettuce here and some zinnia, which I can see the zinnia is starting to pop up. But this is a nice spot even for some lettuce because, as you can see, it's pretty much shady until much later in the day. I do have some Swiss chard started here and red Russian kale, and then I have the Gumfrina flowers, which were really hidden away under some plants and not doing well, and I put them over here and they are doing much better. So now they have to get caught up on growing. Yeah, so this was the other bed next to it. These are about 3 feet by about 6 feet. My onions are doing really well. I mean, they're definitely behind in growth because of all the cold and rain that we had for so long at the beginning of the season. But I feel like they're starting to catch up a little bit. I mean, they're not huge by any means, but I will eat them. Lots of mushrooms. With all the rain we've been having, lots of mushrooms. Okay, I do have over here some more marigolds and calendula, which is going wild. Then over here in this section, I guess we'll start over here. Obviously more sunflowers. The rain the other night just destroyed the ones that have been here for a while. But as you can see, new ones are popping up, and the bees love sunflower. I even have a tomato plant in here, which I had it was just an extra, and I threw it in there and it's growing, so I'm just gonna leave it. It's not super duper growing fabulously, but it's good enough. So there's some tomatoes on it, so I'll just leave it there. Some over here I have a newer butternut squash. I have a newer watermelon in there. More radishes. You can see they're in different stages. Some celosia, which I don't think I'll ever get again because I'm not super happy with it. I have a little bit of Swiss chard, leeks, onions. Yep. And over here in this bed I have more sunflowers in here with this beautiful flower down here. Don't remember the name of it. New Guinea Impatiens is the name of this. And it just keeps growing. It's just a happy camper in there. So then over here, I have two big tomato plants, which I'm gonna have to top those too because they're getting like way over my head. And I don't want them to grow so tall I can't get the tomatoes. I have some zinnia. I have, let me get over here. I don't want to step on this squash. I have more basil, and I have 3 determinate Tiny Tim tomato plants in here. So we'll see how they're doing. Usually they're quite prolific for me, but I don't know about this year. We'll see. All right, let me back up without tripping over the hose. Okay, so in here I have 3 eggplant plants, and you can see I'll be harvesting some today. These grow 4 to 6 inches long, so I have 2 of them I'm going to harvest. There's the other one right there. Harvest today, and I'll be cutting those up, putting them in my air fryer along with some string beans over here, with a little salt and pepper, oil in the air fryer, and that'll be a side dish. Here's another tomato plant, basil, carrots, tomato plant. This is dianthus flowers in here from last year. I have parsley over here. And there is some Swiss chard in there, and there is also a beet in there, which amazingly is growing underneath these butternut squash, which is like growing out to my driveway. It is now on my driveway. So yeah, so I don't know. I had flowers the past few days, but I don't know. I didn't see any female flowers, so I don't know if, you know, I'm getting any butternut squash. We'll see. I've had the bees, so hopefully they're doing their job. I have been hand pollinating the eggplants, which I'm going to stop now because I've seen the bees in there, so I'm comfortable that those are pollinating okay. But the watermelons, I do come out and hand pollinate every single morning. In here, I don't know what this white is, some kind of wildflower from, I guess, last year's stuff that I planted, because I don't know what it is. I didn't plant it this year. I have more nasturtiums. And then over here, we have a tomato plant. These barrels I bought at BJ's this year, which is like a Costco, which I'm going to be using for next year. So those are there for next year. Tomato, basil, tomato, tomato. I have 26 tomato plants. 26. The most ever. So hopefully I get a lot of tomatoes. And, you know, I'm in Jersey. You know what they say about Jersey tomatoes. They're the best. That's what they say. I don't know. I think I agree. But anyway, so this is my garden. And it is being super productive and super pretty. I'm out here multiple times in the day, just kind of puttering around, tying things up that are getting out of control, looking for bugs, harvesting, watering. So I do all the watering by hand every day, unless it rains. So that is it. So I am in New Jersey, Zone 6B, and that's my garden for the middle of July 2025. Okay, thanks for being here. Bye-bye.